truth, older than the ages. There is a promise of things yet to come. There is one born for our salvation, Jesus, Jesus, who walks on the waters, who speaks to the sea, who stands in the fire beside me. He roars like a lion, he bled as the lamb, he carries my healing in his hands, Jesus. Today, I'd like to share another story with you to go along with our gospel story. It comes from Sister Joan Chittister, and it is about her dog. It was not uncommon for Jews and Romans to regard each other as dogs, an obvious insult we still use on other people today. What was uncommon was how the city official in today's gospel, with his title and importance and his mighty pantheon of deities, obviously regards Jesus as master. And the faith of this man is so much greater than normal human faith that we have in one another. Indeed, it's much more akin to the unwavering faith of a simple dog who has faith in his master, as illustrated in the following. Everything in life has something to teach us if we only allow ourselves to look at it deeply enough. I don't talk about the incident much for obvious reasons, but I don't forget it. I mean, who can you talk to about what you learned from your dog? His name was Danny. He was one of those wiry, intense, frenetic kind of Irish setters who loved to go through life at high speed, laughing all the way. I have dozens of funny stories about him. Those are the ones that I tell. There is one story, however, that is not funny at all. It comes back to me at strange times of life, at those moments when I'm feeling the most defensive and vulnerable. It was hunting season. The woods behind the monastery are thick, wide, and off limits to hunters. Danny ran in those woods every day. One afternoon, he came back from a run, stood looking at me, quiet as a stone for a moment, and then lay down, stretched out the length of the throw rug in front of my desk, and looked at me, lethargic and slow-eyed. Something was wrong. No barking for a biscuit, no nudging my hands off the keyboard, just the look. I got up from behind my desk, knelt down beside him, and ran my hands through the long scarlet feathering that covered his flanks and ribcage. When I felt it, he flinched, only a hair, and then gave a deep, slow sigh. I parted the hair with both hands and saw the bullet hole in his ribs. There had been no sound, no agitation, no hysteria, no meanness, just that trust that if he looked at me long enough, I would understand. If he waited long enough, it would all be all right again. And it was. Of course, the vet removed the bullet, and little by little, we loved him back to the same breathless energy and total irrepressibility he'd shown before the shooting. But I was never able to forget the incident as easily as he apparently had. I went on being troubled by the shooting, of course, but months went by. I found myself even more overwhelmed by the way the dog had responded to it. I got the distinct impression that it had been a good run in the woods and that it was worth it, come what may. The memory of that event touches my own life. I learned the power of vulnerability, of opening yourself to life, of entrusting yourself to other arms, come what may, and presuming that, in the end, it will all have been worth it. I learned from Danny that somehow, some way, if and when we are each cut down in the delirium of life, we will all have the resources we need to carry us through. The city official just looked at Jesus and knew that everything would be okay if the master would just take care of his needs. Can we trust Jesus as our master the way Danny trusted Sister Joan Chittister, and the way the city official trusted the Messiah. Messiah, my Savior, there is power in your name. You are my rock and my Redeemer. There is power in your name, in your name. You walk on the waters, you speak to the sea, you stand in the fire beside me, God.